we are going to take a look at least the chord progression to Stormy Monday. We'll talk a little bit about playing a lead over it, but we're not going to break down anybody's specific lead. But this is a song I like to have students work on for all kinds of reasons. Playing slow blues in 12/8, using a lot of jazzy chords, a lot of bar chords. This is much easier on an electric guitar than anything else. Now, the song goes way back to the early days of rock, of blues. T-Bone Walker is kind of where this originated. A great guitar player and kind of major influence on just about everybody that has ever picked up the guitar in the blues or even in the jazz world now. And this was a standalone standard. I mean, everybody did it. Now, it's officially known as Stormy Monday Blues because there's another tune that predates it called Stormy Monday that is not this. So, but we're going to refer to it as Stormy Monday. Now, the chord progression I was using there was in the key of G, and this is very much the way, more like the Allman Brothers did it than anybody else. Now, their version was already derived from a version that they heard as younger musicians done by Bobby Blue Bland and his guitar player Wayne Bennett. Now, Wayne had a lot of jazzy influences and brought that sound to Bobby Blue Bland's sound and made it quite different than a lot of other standard blues guys, you know, the Muddy Waters of the world and things like that. So anyhow, so that's kind of where this jazzy progression came from, was the guitar player involved with Bobby Blue Bland, Wayne Bennett. Check him out. And this, of course, was on the Allman Brothers, well, the last album that Duane was on officially. There are a bit of his stuff on other, that showed up later. But this is Live at the Fillmore East album. Now, there's some really interesting things about, you got to check out a story on YouTube by Butch Trucks, who talked about this particular picture and how difficult it was to get it. They were really unhappy. This was not taken at the Fillmore. This was taken in front of their studio, in the alley near their studio, I believe, but where they were working on the album, or not this album, but and they spent all day there with a photographer they were not happy with. But notice, they're all smiling. Something really unusual happened just before they took this picture, but I'll let you follow Butch's story on that one. This happens to be a Japanese pressing of it that included lyrics translated into Japanese and then back into English. Things like "The evil flies on Friday," and they call her Stormy Monday. Anyway, there are interesting variations on the lyric sheet that came with this. Now, all we're really going to be talking about with this song is the variations in chords that they use from standard 12-bar blues. I'll go over 12 standard blues in G a little bit. You've got to be familiar with ninth chords. Show you how we play them, and we're going to talk about an augmented chord that happens right there, and this little intro that just is a simple little chord shape derived from a ninth chord as well, but a G9. Very cool. Anyway, and that's that half-step slide really does date back to the original version. So T-Bone Walker kind of brought that into the song, and then Wayne Bennett and Bobby Blue Bland kind of turned that into more took it a step further with some unusual chords. So that's it for the preview here. We're going to get to the parts you need to do with this lesson. We'll talk about playing in 12/8 time, a simple strumming pattern that can be used in 12/8, and we'll be talking about all these cool chords, and hopefully you'll be able to play along with the Allman Brothers' Stormy Monday.